See, now it's worse than it was.
You know, Jim, it's not as bad as you think it is in regards to the workout, executing the workout, understanding the workout, the purpose of the workout, and actually just going through the workflow. It's actually pretty good, Jim.
Okay.
Like it's a good movement. It's just those damn folds of yours. We've got to get that. By the way, your cry intake on that is really good.
Okay.
Very, very, very whimpery. Eric, notice this cry mode thing, okay? This whimpery thing. You have to, you know, Eric, because the cry mode is important, right? You know that by now because I'm making big. Okay, all right. So it's the most important thing. All right. Like even more so than vowels, I think, actually. Okay, so watch me. Jim, give us some compression, baby. Compression.
It starts doing this.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
If it gets squirrely like that, that's okay.
Okay. Should I release
No.
yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Because if you were starting to get a little more compression on that, I want you to do that again and fight for it a little bit more, please. Just give it hell. We need to bring those folds together. Hey, it's good. Are you subconsciously trying to put vibrato into that?
No, I'm not. It's doing it.
Okay, good. Don't do that. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do it again. One more time, please. Try this. That is more compressed.
Okay.
So now you got to hold that position as you then release, shape the embouchure, shape the vocal track, and release the product. Watch me. Real slow, Jim. You bitch. My battery's died. Damn it.
Okay.
Jim, I got it.
lost it. Let me do something here.
It's a good movement.
I gotta do this.
Jim. Let's try a different note. If that squirreliness, if you go down a little bit or up a little bit, that squirreliness might go away. We might find a note that's just cooperating a little better for you. I don't know right offhand if it's higher or lower.
All right, let me try higher just for laughs.
I mean, yeah. So you know, as we get closer to the passaggio, Eric, if you're not aware of this, chest voice, head voice, vocal break in the middle. As we get closer to the low head voice, closer to the passaggio, students sometimes think, it's sort of intuitive to think, well, the lower I am, the easier it's going to get. It's a lot easier to sing like a G sharp or a high B sometimes than it is to sing an F. All right, so those low head notes, there's something about the human anatomy. I don't know exactly what it is. I always wanted to know. But there's something about those low head tones, the E, the F, and the F sharp, that lack grip. You don't get the leverage that you can get. Once you get sort of like an hourglass, in a way, if you visualize the two registers together as an hourglass, right in the middle would be the passaggio. And it's right here where all of our problems are. This is the spectrum right here. Once you get sort of the higher stuff, things start to actually get a little easier. Okay, so anyways, I got in the weeds a little bit there, Jim, but I'm just trying to help Eric get up to speed here. I think you probably already know that. So Eric, that's why Jim and I are suggesting that we go up higher as opposed to lower, because if we go lower, we're actually walking further into the rabbit hole. It'll get more difficult. Jim, go to the G sharp. You're right. I'm with you. I'm just grabbing the battery. Your descending glissando is good.
I mean, that felt actually a little bit more stable than the G.
Do it again, please. Jim, let's go in that G sharp and let's just hit it with some glottal attacks. Hit it with some glottal attacks, please. Okay. I want to pivot to Eric for a moment, okay?
Right.
I think that's good effort.
Okay.
All right.
I could use a rest anyway.
Eric, you mentioned that you had some positive experiences since our first lesson, and could you elaborate on that for me, please? Tell me, what aha moments you may have had and what you sort of may have felt or experienced. That would be helpful. Thank you.
So before I met with you, Coach, Jimmy was talking to me, about the sessions, and he talked about vocal health in general. And one thing I felt like after our session and after doing some of these warm-ups is I feel much more comfortable in my voice. It feels like my voice is healthy. It feels like my speaking voice is healthy. I've continued to go up doing what I'm doing with the warm-up is the track and track, and then the track and release, and then a release and hold. And I did some experimenting with going down a little lower. And then I had one other interesting thing where I just tried to hit a sort of high note, and I'm not sure what happened, if it was my head voice or what, but it was a much higher note than I think I've ever sung before, and I just sort of went for it, and it was like a piercing, sharp no. It was sort of hurt my. It was so loud it sort of hurt my ears, but it was on the pitch that I was shooting for, which was sort of interesting and exciting.
Cool. Okay. All right. And how far did you get into the program, the workouts and stuff?
Um, Mostly doing those ones, and then I also watched about Quack and Release and the Wind and Release, so I incorporated some of that as well.
Okay. Did you do the warm ups with the five note major scale with the buzzing nasals and all that jazz? Did you do that?
Yeah, like yeah, starting with the five notes with the track and track, yeah, with the M, the N, and the NG, and
Good.
then the M going into the eh.
Good. Okay. All right. Let me watch you. Let me watch you. Okay. And yeah, let me just do your thing.
Okay.
What you've been doing, and let me just view and see how that is.
Sometimes I've started with this C, sometimes I've started a little lower with this F. I don't know if it makes a difference.
It doesn't. It doesn't
Okay.
mean. So the only difference is that it takes you a little bit longer to get to the hard part, which is where we want to spend most of our training time, I think.
Okay, sounds good. So maybe I'll go from that C.
Good. Keep going.
Okay.
Okay, time out. Time out. Would you say that you are engaging cry mode in that?
No.
Oh, and yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay.
If you don't thin the vocal folds, so the cry mode thins the vocal folds. Where are my vocal folds? There they are. If you don't thin, if you thin the vocal folds, you get agility.
Hmm.
If you don't, and we went over this in your first lesson, so I'm not going to spend more, I'm not going to belabor it too much, but
Hmm.
if you don't thin out the vocal folds, am I going to get better folds? These are just not, these are too stiff. If you don't thin out the vocal folds, you have stiff, bulky folds, which are great for speaking and really bad for singing. And if you take this bulky, unflexible, non-agile physical position into high notes that are higher than speech mode, which is what this particular position is designed for,
Hmm.
and you take it to higher frequencies, which is not where speech resides, it's where singing resides. It's gonna create a constriction.
Okay.
So do that again and get your puppy whimper on. Okay, there's just no. Can you tell that I'm sort of whimpering?
Yes.
Does it sort of sound whimpery-ish? It should, yeah, because I am. So you're not doing that. You're pushing on thick folds, and you're just gonna get tired.
Okay. Okay. So right from the first note,
Damn
always.
right, all the time,
Okay.
all the time. There's never a time when you're not engaging cry mode when you're singing, ever. It's all the time. Now there's something that needs to be clarified on that is the higher the frequency, stuck in time there, look at that. The higher the frequency, what, Jim?
The harder you cry and the more you lower your larynx.
Yeah. Eric, so the cry mode isn't a static thing. It is dynamic, and it moves according to frequency, as does everything else. So for the vocal fold thinning trick, the higher the frequency, the harder you thin. The more you thin, the harder you cry. But even on like a super low note, like in my chest voice, where I won't need it as much, arguably, I still want it. God damn it, what is that? What's that tune? Iron Maiden. It's the Iron Maiden thing I always use when I want to do something in my chest voice and I forget. Anyways, that's the point. Eric, try again. Get a whimper, and as you go higher, okay?
Mhm.
All right. Okay. Harder than that. So you want to whimper, engage cry mode enough that it's obvious and it's sort of embarrassing.
Okay.
Like, and sometimes subconsciously, people will not do it hard enough because subconsciously, it just feels weird to do that as a grown man, kind of thing. Like that gets in people's way sometimes. Just lean into it. Just commit to it. Because if you can release from that position, it's cool. Yeah. Good. Harder, more. You're going through it now, especially right there. Thin it out through the passaggio. That's it. And your instinct to slow down as you go through that is correct. You want to slow it down.
Okay.
Okay. The body has to build muscle memory
Mhm.
on something that's really weird and exotic, which it's not accustomed to. And if you do these things too quickly, if you move too fast, it's not enough time for the body to learn, to build the muscle memory. So we slow it down, just like learning an Ingve riff or something. You start slow, and then you speed it up. Same with the voice, all right? So your instinct to slow down there was good. Do it again, please. It's good. Perfect. And you hear the little instability there where it's sort of breaking up?
Yes.
Both of you guys, when you're training a scale, if you're going through an area where it sort of breaks up or it squirrels out a little bit, that's telling you to stop and massage that position, that movement. So often we just sort of like, oh, I tripped up over there, and then we just kind of keep going when we're doing vocal workouts. Or when we're singing songs, there's that one part that always gets us. and God dang, oh, well, God's behind me, and they just kind of keep going. No, 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 no. Like really to take vocal training excellence to the extreme, and to really get your head around it. The really the best guys, what they do is they don't just sort of let those bugs go by. They stop and they work on it. Work on that part. And you guys are going, that's what I used to do when I played drums. When I was learning how to play drums. When I was learning how to play bass, right? Like don't avoid the problem. Tackle it. That's what being a musician is partly about, right? Tackle it. Figure it out. Figure it out. So, building our muscle skills. Go back. Do it again. Go down a couple notes, Eric. Do it again, knowing that there's that little area there. It kind of wants to get squirrely. Just slow down. Slow down. Be mindful of it, and just try to just try to work through it.
Okay.
Cry harder. Go slower. Open your eyes. Whatever. Figure it out.
Okay.
Nice. There you go. Real slow. Right. Get to know every position in this physical configuration that you're doing, this weird thing that you're doing. Get to know that physical position on every note at an intimate level, and it'll build into your muscle memory. How'd that feel when you slowed it down a little bit? What was did it seem to any comments on that?
No, the only thing is I felt I was running. I was not used to, I didn't have enough breath or wasn't able to take enough breath. I think that's strengthening as well. But no, it felt good to slow it down and get through instead of just hoping to make it through.
Yeah. So here I go for the 103rd time. Maybe this time it'll work.
Right, right.
If you're going too slow, oftentimes it just doesn't. It's just never going to until you just slow it down. Literally, you could spend years going over the same part over and over again and it never working, and then training it for 30 minutes slow, and it suddenly starts working. Okay. So Eric, let's take this to the next step. Let's presume that we've gone through a full 3 octaves and down, whimpering like a puppy on a nasal. What would be the next thing we would, and it goes well. So you're nice and warmed up. Your vocal folds are elasticy and stretchy, and everything's happy there. It's all warmed up. What would be the next thing in your workflow, in your routine, that you would then want to do?
So after just the nasals, I would do the track and release with the and then going to the eh. Once I was done those 3 warm-ups, then I might do the sirens with a fifth.
That's great. It's perfect. Yeah, it's great. It's very Rob. This is what I do too. Yeah, it's very good. So we're releasing. What are we releasing? What are you releasing?
Well, I know I'm releasing the vowel, in this case, the vowel eh. I'm releasing air. I'm releasing sound that's shaped.
Yeah. Great. Those are good answers. Those are good answers. I particularly like I'm releasing a vowel. I like that. I'm releasing a vowel. Okay. Sometimes I say I'm releasing my product.
Okay.
Okay, because not much farther. I mean, once that vowel's out and it's shaped into a proper embouchure, then there's nothing else you can do with it other than wrap it around with some consonants and turn it into a language.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, good answer. Yeah. Yeah. Releasing your, I just want you to be thinking about it in that way. Both you guys, Jim, you're releasing your product.
Okay.
Which infers that, well, it's got to be in pitch. It's got to have a nice tone to it. It's got to be, pleasant in a lot of different ways that we haven't even gotten into, right? All
Mhm.
right. So, Jim, excuse me, Eric, let's go back, accompany yourself, and I want you to track and release now. Okay?
Mhm. Just go down a few notes.
Yeah. Yeah, just go down a few and work your way up. Maybe, get down to the G or the F or something, and then let's just
Mm-hmm.
drop our way up through. Okay? Yep, 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 yep. Good, good, good. Your embouchure is good. Got a sort of a horizontal approach. Don't go too vertical. Okay. Hey, get your tongue forward. Okay. Keep going, please. Leverage the tip of your tongue against the back of your bottom teeth. We need a little bit of internal muscular leverage. When you leverage the tip of the tongue against the back of the bottom teeth, it creates sympathetic contractions that sort of go down to the base of the tongue, and it manipulates the folds. It makes the vocal folds compress a little better. Okay, you too need a little bit more compression. So I want you to use that anchoring technique to see if you can get some closure a little more. Okay, do again, please.
Right.
When you go to the vowel, keep crying.
Okay.
That's the one. You notice how that was a little bit brighter, a little bit more. It was a little brighter in the EQ. Okay, that's a good sign.
Okay. Right.
Less puffy, less grindy, more bright and shiny in its coloration. Right, because you had good compression, you had good cry mode, and the resonance was also edging. I'm not sure you got there in the book yet, but edging forward, neutral, resonant position, curving, back oriented resonant positions. Put it forward.
Okay.
With a few artistic exceptions, all of your resonance should be angled forward. So when we release the vowel, you were saying I release a vowel. You're right, you do release a vowel. You're going to release a vowel, but that vowel can sit back, neutral, back, and we call it curving, neutral, or forward into an edging position. Jim, when we release our vowels, where do we want 99 out of 10 times what acoustic mode position do we want our resonance to be oriented?
Back of the front top teeth.
Yes, that's back of the top teeth is a metaphor. It's a visual to get us to what acoustic mode, Jim?
Yeah, don't know. Drawing a blank. Sorry.
Edging, Jim.
Edging. Okay, sorry.
All right. So in the book, in the course, 3 acoustic modes. All right.
Curbing, neutral, edging.
That's right, baby. That's
Okay.
it. Curbing, neutral, edging. All right. It's just the so when we release the vowel, Eric, the resonant energy is comes out of the vocal folds, and it's resonating in the upper vocal tract, and it can be sort of oriented with a trajectory. Okay. And 9 out of 10 times you want to get that bad boy forward for singing.
Okay.
Okay. So when you release your vowel that you were talking about, be conscious of releasing it forward.
Okay.
And Jim was reciting something that I'd come up with, which I think is pretty good. When you release that valve for. We're gonna go back to your track and release, but I want you to add some visuals, okay? So when you release your product, I want you to think about releasing it to the back of your top teeth. It's just a visual.
Okay.
Okay. May. Okay. Versus May or May. All right. This will kill you. This will kill you. You got to get it forward. All right. So, Eric, you're doing great. Let's continue. Let's do track and release. Whimper like a puppy. And when you release your vowel, edge it.
Okay.
There you go. Now, when you release that vowel, we heard a little bit of ishness in your A. Did you hear that by chance?
I did not notice that.
Okay, and I would be surprised if you did because you were focusing on so many other things. But Jim heard it, and I heard it too. Yep. So that was there's ishness in there. The sound color of in its natural default. If I just speak run, son, fun in phonetics, the color of the sound color of in speech plays back in a curving position.
Okay.
And for speech, it's okay. For singing, it's going to kill you.
Gotcha.
All right? So I will say sometimes be true to the vowel, the singing vowel. We've decided that we've made a commitment that we're going to train on what vowel, Eric?
As in bet.
Be careful with that. Don't be half-assed. Be careful. It's got to be right, because we're sitting on in a foggy spectrum here. It's got to be right. What is the sound color that we're training on? Again?
The sound color?
Yes, the vowel.
Not
exactly.
A.
There you go. That's it. A. Not a. Were you to train on a, it would be okay. It'd be okay. Actually be a little easier. But I don't want you to train on a. You don't get as much out of a as sort of lazy position. I want you to train on a.
Steak and eggs.
That's right. Steak and eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I got a quick question. When you said curbing will kill you as a singer, do you mean sonically or you mean health wise or both?
I meant physically, health wise.
Oh, okay.
But it does include both.
Yes, okay.
Because a dopier sound is just not as pretty for singing.
Okay, but it's also actually bad for your voice.
Yeah. It'll make you tired. It'll beat you down. So, steak and eggs, Eric. Steak and eggs, not stack and eggs, and not stuck in Uggs. Do it again. Do it. Track and release. You see how we're layering on these things?
Sure.
Okay. All of these things that we're layering on, we gave it a name in the book in the training program. It's called the what, Eric? It is the
Not the track and release.
We take all of our techniques and all the techniques combined as a whole is called the
Not the
Rebel in the back of the bus. Yes.
Phonation package?
Jim,
Yes.
Jim, you got it.
It only took 3 years.
I know, that's the thing. But you should feel proud of that. It's a phonation package.
Yeah.
So I've been throwing a lot at you here, Eric, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eric, for your track and release, we're not going to just buzz on nasal and make a sound. We're going to release a phonation package consisting of, give me four of them.
A correct, embouchure.
Perfect. Great. Yes.
The correct vowel, A, as in steak and eggs.
Be true to your vowel.
True to your vowel. We're going to focus it into the area behind the upper front teeth.
Yep, that's a very helpful visual. So in your phonation package, proper visualization, proper imagery. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Give me another one.
And we're going to whimper like a puppy. We're going to go and use cry mode.
Right, that's your physical mode. That's right. And there's actually more. Respiration, get your eyes off your shoestrings. Yeah. Go for it. Be thinking about your phonation package as you release that product.
Okay.
Yep, good. I would give you an A+ on that. I can only give you an A because you dropped your bite.
Okay.
Okay, now be really picky. But pretty good. Do it again. Keep going. Da, da, up a half step.
Hey,
Well done. Up a half step. This time when you go higher, what was it, Eric? The higher we go, the
the more you lean into the cry.
Yes. And you didn't do that. So what happens is students will go, they don't thin out as they get higher, they don't thin out more to accommodate that extra note. So think of it this way. Each frequency on the keyboard has a set thin position. Okay? It's a measurement. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. The higher I go. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes students are thinning out just fine, but we're kind of we're getting higher, we're getting to the hard stuff. And what'll happen is they've been doing, they're at like level 4 and they go up to like an F sharp or a G or something and they need to thin out more and they're not conscious of it. So then they try to sing and the G is really it's a 6. Okay, I think you're tracking with what I'm trying to describe here. Yeah, it's a 6, and they try to hit it with a 4. It needs to be a 6, and they try to hit it with a 4. Mm-hmm. What happens, Jim, if you're thinning out your vocal folds? If in our example here, if a G is a thin out position of 6, okay, but you hit it at a thin out position of 4, what's going to happen, Jim?
I'm thinking it's going to sound shouty and it's going to be out of tune.
Great answer. It might be out of tune. It's definitely going to sound and feel shouty. It's going to choke you. Okay? All right. So, picking on you here, Eric, your last note or two, it's always the last 2 notes. You need to thin out more. Thin out more when you get to the top. Do it again, please. Try harder. That's it. That's the idea. The higher you go, the harder you cry. I'm not kidding. And you'll think to yourself, because I did, you'll think, because you're already like on a G. You're already super high, and you'll be thinking to yourself, I can't cry any harder. Mm-hmm. I'm crying as hard as I possibly can. I'm crying like a goddamn baby. I can't cry any harder. Funny thing is you always can.
Okay.
Like the body will sort of send you a signal like, I don't think I can do this I can't thin out anymore. Mm-hmm. But you can, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going. That was good.
Sometimes, Coach, sometimes when I get to these higher things, I feel like I want to stand up. Does that matter whether I sit or stand? Is there anything physically?
Great question. Really great question. Yeah, it makes a big difference. You want to be on your feet when you're training.
Okay.
Ideally, you want to be on your feet.
Okay.
All right, let's do a couple more, and then Jim. I feel like we need to do more. We need to work with Jim a little more.
Okay.
That's the idea. Don't lurch into it. Just keep still and slow down.
Okay.
Do it again. Keep still and slow down, and you got it. I'm Eric, slowing down. Yay! Slow it down.
Okay.
Very good, very good. And sometimes when the scale still sounds sort of crappy, like it still sort of sounds crappy, it's breaking up stuff. That doesn't always mean that it's bad or wrong.
Okay.
The aesthetic does not always get to decide on whether it's bad or wrong when we're singing, I suppose, but not when we're training.
Okay.
Because like you heard me say that earlier with Jim, it's like, Jim, the aesthetic, because we need to have vocal folds to compress, is still like our aesthetic would be a little bit better if we had a compression, and yet everything else was just correct.
Mm-hmm.
So as a coach, I'm going to give him an A, because he's done everything he can. Right. All right. By the way, your voice broke up, your glottis opened up at the end there. It blew a bunch of wind. Okay, fine, no problem. What you would want to do, if you found yourself tripping up and that was happening 8 or 10 times, what you'd want to do is what Jim did. You would want to pivot to the quack and release onset and work on slow compressions on those high notes, and then just opening up slow compressions, just releasing the vowel. What was that? Oh shit. Second. All right. A. So you'd want to just grab the A and just and just train the motor skills to get compression, release the vowel on that A.
Okay, great.
The shower, in the car, walking to work. You don't have to be in a controlled environment like we are right now. You can just be, walking to Best Buy or something and just okay. Hopefully not on like a match date or something where they're gonna think you're completely lost your mind, okay, or whatever. Okay, yeah. All right, great. Jim, you've been very patient and gracious. Thank you. You ready, buddy?
Yes, I think so.
Good job, Eric.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's should I tell you what I've been doing to warm up and everything?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been really, because I kind of been working backwards from quack and release, meaning when I get up around G4, my quack and release is unsteady. So I thought, but I can usually tell because the tracking part of the quack and release is already unsteady. So I've been spending a lot of time just tracking sirens, individual notes, going up in half steps, going down in half steps, going up in sirens, going down in sirens, just trying to get the, so if I can go, Like I've been doing that stuff a lot to try to prepare for the quack and release.
To prepare for the quack and release.
Because I feel like, yeah, because I just thought
That's
maybe.
good crime mode.
Oh, okay, that is okay. I didn't know if that's
You should know, Jim.
okay.
I mean, really, I think maybe it's just a habit for you to say, because I don't know. I'm not sure that you don't know.
Well, I mean, I sense that. Well, if I quack and release, what part is like it's failing right from the beginning? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so well, let me go isolate that and slowly bring it up to the G again. You know, because I can do it. Obviously, I can do. I ran out of air, but
Yeah, see, yeah, it's that's all great. That's all good stuff, Jim.
so, but it's it feels clunky and I don't feel like I can rely on, like, it's not like I can just go sing a song that has that note in it and it's there. It's like sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not there. And for example, Fixing a Hole by the Beatles, he hits that G like 10 times in a row, and by the 5 times in, I'm done. You know, I can't. He does it effortlessly and beautifully, and I do it 5 times in a row, and it's like I can't hit the note anymore. So should I just keep going with your? I mean, it seems like I'm making progress, but it's painfully slow. On the other hand, it's progress.
We need to get your we need to get your vocal folds to compress.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. The one other thing I do is, sorry, which is a line from "If I Fell," the Beatles, and I go, hey, 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 and then I try to add the words, 'cause I couldn't stand the pain. But, you know, it's not musical. But it's better than it was 2 months ago, but I just get frustrated.
Jim?
Yes.
Do what you just did. Okay, we'll just use that. We'll turn the excerpt from the song into an etude.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you know what etudes are? We're all musicians here, right?
A study.
Yeah, it's a study, but still sounds beautiful and musical. Okay, right. So just like in the spirit of Chopin. Okay, so turn that into an etude. Okay, and do it again, Jim, please. Slow it down. Jim, that is not edging. Like, that is like very swallowed.
Okay.
It just sounds very swallowed. Can you and then Jim, listen, please.
Yeah, that I heard. I heard that one.
Hear that, Eric? Do you hear that? It's got sort of like a swallowed sound to it. It's back, and this isn't Jim.
Yes.
There's a note. What's that? E flat.
That's on C. Oh, sorry.
Flat.
The third note, it starts on C.
Jim, I'm not talking about the Beatles anymore. Just give me an E flat.
Oh, E flat.
Hey! A hair better. Jim.
Yes.
That is a hybrid. That is a cocktail of I have no idea why this shit throw across my screen. I have no idea. I hit a button one day and now I've got like balloons and hearts and fireworks and all kinds of things for little girls. But it's great. It's cool though. It's kind of fun sometimes. All right, Jim. That's a hybrid between A and That's
okay.
That's an A cocktail.
Okay.
E flat, please. E flat. Hey, Jim. E flat. Attack and release. Tongue forward. Edging an A. 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 Okay, that's a little better. Give me some bite, please. Hey! Okay. Hey! 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 So that's compressing a little more. Can you hear that, Eric? It's coming together just a little bit more. It is. So, and then it's sad. Hey, 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 hey. Jim, that's also compressing a little better. So if we go, wait a minute, that's supposed to be an F sharp. Let's go to F sharp. Hey, 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 all day. Hey, 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 hey. Okay, to our special friend. G sharp, the most beautiful.
G sharp.
No, not G. I'm sorry, G. G, the most beautiful note in the male voice. It's G4. G4. That's a subjective statement. Okay, now try this. Go attack into the G and just walk down chromatically. I like that.
Okay.
I like that as a workout. Guess what, Jim?
Okay.
What goes down must go
up.
You realize what we're doing here is we're rubbing your nose right at just the,
in the danger zone.
Dude, totally, like just right on the singularity, just right there. And you're purposely tormenting yourself. So another lesson, it sort of ties into the thing I was saying earlier is if you're tripping up and what we all do are going to have problems here. Okay, everybody does. It's just the human voice. Sit there, spend time there. Rub that. If you're singer-sizing in the shower or in the car, don't just do the easy stuff. Like really rub it in.
Yeah, I've been trying.
Refuse to lose.
Yeah, I've been doing it. I've been trying to do that, and then at a certain point, it starts getting worse, at which point I say, after 20, 25 minutes, it starts getting worse, and then I go, okay, let me leave it alone for the time being, see if, hopefully
you need to rest. Yeah, you'll need to rest. Yes.
Yeah.
Jim?
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah. So at G, the format shifts. So there's another bridge there. The acoustics have to shift there a little bit. All right. So you're going to want to. It broke a little bit there because you have to modify your valve.
Okay.
You have to retune your valve. So Eric, the higher we go, the lower we go. Even if the committed training valve is A, or the committed what I call the performance valve is A. Like we're singing a song and the lyric is steak and eggs and it's A-ishness, and we're moving. Those vowels have to be tuned per the frequency.
Okay.
Subtly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In a way that the audience will never ever notice or hear. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, Jim.
It's going to an A, like I put in a little A.
Exactly. There
okay.
You go. So, not in all cases, but Eric, if you feel like the configuration is great, it's going well, but it's sort of breaking around an A or a G, there's a good chance that the physical configuration, the physical phonation in your phonation package, the physical elements are lined up and going. You're fine. You're crying. You got a good embouchure, this and that. But in the phonation package is also a set of acoustic concerns, obviously. Okay, so one would be the higher we go, we tend to need to tune that vowel and modify it subtly so that it will stay in line. Okay, nothing in the voice, nothing in the physical package. Did I say that? Nothing in the phonation package, which consists of physical elements, acoustic elements, and some mental elements as well. Nothing in the phonation package ever stands still unless you're singing one note. Okay? Imagine we've got 10 cogs in a machine, or 10 elements. If we go up one note, they all subtly adjust for that note. Okay? It's like a gyroscope that is adjusting. The phonation package is like a gyroscope that adjusts for frequency. Per the frequency, per the vowel. So if my A vowel looks like this, it's going to be adjusting to maintain an A vowel on a siren. Okay? And this is why we like sirens, by the way. Okay? If my ah vowel looks like this, then it's going to be adjusting. It's still going to be adjusting per the frequency, per the vowel. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So it's fluid. It's dynamic.
And that basically is the reason why the sirens are so critical, because
that's right.
It's forcing you to deal with that.
Forcing you. That's exactly right, Jim. So that's why we get a lot out of the fancy Italian glissando. We're doing a lot of sirens through the passaggio as well, which kind of helps us get that muscle skills going. Is it teaches the body how to in a fluid way, recalibrate the phonation package for every single note per the vowel. So now, if you want to get really trippy, check it out, guys. In the book, we have 10 training valves. I believe it's 10. 10 training valves. Now, realistically, the amount of training valves, the amount of sound colors we can sing is sort of infinite, really. It all sits on a big foggy spectrum. Okay. If we gave the vowels color so that we could see them, and we do in my book, by the way, then what it would look like, the infinite options for all sound singing colors would look like a color spectrum with a lot of phasing. Okay. But to keep things practical, we've chosen 10 vowels that we're going to train. Okay, that's all we need. Now we got 10 vowels to train, and let's just say, to be practical, we have in singing, to be practical, what? Low C to C5. Okay, to be practical. That's 9%. That's probably 98% of all Western music. Okay, so that's what? That's one. That's two. That's 2 octaves. In 2 octaves, we have how many notes in 2 octaves?
24.
Thank you, sir. What's 10 times 24?
240.
40.
10 singing vowels that we need to master across approximately 24 notes. You got 240 different calibrated positions you need to build into your muscle memory, sir.
It's kind of a lot.
Isn't that interesting? Does that make sense, Eric?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, that sounds daunting. But the good news, it is large. The good news is it's not all that hard. Okay, the human body can do this sort of thing very quickly, in part because we're already speaking a language, which is extraordinarily difficult. So if you can speak a language, you can calibrate 240 open vowels with no consonants.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively easy. So that's why. So you're right, Jim. Compliments to you, Jim. That is why we do the sirens. And the sirens also force us to do this. The sirens make us rub our nose into the hard part.
Okay. So attack and release going up in half steps. The tracking, I assume, is still a good idea to warm up and everything.
Of course, it is.
Yes. Okay. And any this kind of that fake vibrato, involuntary vibrato thing, is that just the mechanism is just like shaking?
That's what you have to help me answer that question, because I'm not in your body.
Yeah.
It's kind of vibrato-esque, but when I asked you about it, you said it was instability.
Yeah, it's definitely. I am definitely not. I'm trying to sing like straight notes.
Okay, so I mean, there are vibratos that we get that we don't want sometimes, and it's still a vibrato or some sort of weird thing, and that it didn't. It sounds it's instability, Jim. It's instability.
And so that's like a lack of strength and a little bit of a lack of coordination as well. But yeah,
that's
okay,
it.
All right.
It's glottal attacks and slow quack and releases for you, man.
Okay. All right.
I have, and just rubbing your nose in it. I don't have anything else.
No. That's fine. I just want the reassurance that I'm working on the right stuff, because I mean, well, you heard me sing during the pandemic. Like it was, I mean, the first lesson, which I think we have on video somewhere, was was a nightmare. I mean, it was a nightmare.
It's true.
Oh, I mean, this is not a nightmare. It's just I've been getting frustrated because I want to be able to sing like my heroes. I want to be able to sing like Paul McCartney or Stevie Wonder. Those guys can sing really high, beautifully, and that's kind of what I've set my goal as. And I've just been getting a little frustrated, Although maybe it's.
I don't blame you. You should be frustrated.
Yeah.
Because you're working so hard at this, and it's moving slow. Jim, I would just 3 things. Just focus on glottal attacks. Focus on attack and release and quack and release from middle C to G.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
For 4 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
And the other thing that I'd like to ask you to try to do, and it's really hard. Is in your speech. So speech voice is an enemy to the singing voice because of the ish, schwa. Phonetics experts, language experts, they call it schwa. I think it's schwa. And English has a lot of schwa in it, which means a lot of ishness. English has a lot of ishness. Okay, so when we speak, there's a lot of we kind of pass in through a lot of ishness, different shades of ishness. Not good for singing. And that means that the resonance for speaking sometimes in English for some folks gets very throaty and dopey. So anyways, where I'm going with this, Jim, is, and I've done this before, be super conscientious. It's like stop biting your nails.
Oh boy. Yeah. So you're saying so what should I do to my speech?
Where I'm going with this,
yeah.
I want you to try speaking more edgy. So what I would do is I would very conscientiously make my speech voice a little bit more forward. As I am right now. Right now, I'm very consciously speaking with my speech voice a little bit more forward, a little more edginess, okay? And getting the speech resonance out of this dopey sort of dark thing here. Now, might make me sound a little bit, I don't know, a little bit brighter, a little bit more weird or something, but it does project well. If I were on a podcast or I was a radio talk show host, I might want to use this voice here because it projects a little bit more. It's more animated. Okay?
I think I adopted the other style of voice so that other guys wouldn't beat me up.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
No jokes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is much sexier and and good on a date or what have you, but it's fatiguing. This is a fatiguing position. So if you can also just like get yourself to be able to like get it forward a little bit like this, then it can actually become semi-habit, and it'll stop. It'll help. And your speaking voice, Jim, is a little bit throaty and dopey.
Right.
It
right.
is. And I think it's not helping you. So if you could make a commitment to stop biting your nails for 4 weeks, and it's going to be hard because you'll have to catch yourself, okay? When you go to Starbucks to get a coffee or you answer the phone, be conscious of it and go, this is an opportunity for me to practice. Hello, this is Robert Lunte. What can I do for you? Hi, I'd like a latte. And
I feel like as soon as you say that, I feel like I'm going to get punched in the face.
Yeah, I know.
This is definitely this could take some work, but I understand what you're saying. But yeah, like when my voice,
I know where you're going with that a little bit, and I understand, and I get that, and I agree. But just for the sake of your voice,
no, it's I'll look whatever. I'll take the hit, so to speak.
Okay. I mean, somebody might beat the shit out of you because they think you're a sissy or something.
Yes,
but whatever. It's not, we don't care. All right.
Okay. All right. I gotta. So I just have to practice. So instead of talking like this, I have to talk like this. Is that the difference?
Yeah, like right there. And by the way, I don't think that sounds unmasculine. By the way,
okay,
it's just a little bit brighter. And
okay.
Yeah. So get a little bit more forward.
All right. I will. I'll try to make this work for me.
It'll help. If anything, it'll be an interesting study for you. And the thing is right before you have time to get prepared for it, right before you speak, right before you answer the phone, right before you order something in a restaurant or whatever, those are good opportunities to kind of get ready and go.
Yeah. Also, I go to 12-step meetings where you raise your hand, you speak, and so you're speaking to a group of people. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Don't let your voice sort of settle back to this lazy position that it's been in. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And get it forward. I think that might help a lot. Okay, because I'm running out of ideas, and I got a lot of them. Okay, the one thing I have not asked you to do this.
It's a new one. All right, this is a big thing to do. It's okay. This is definitely like stop cracking my knuckles, stop picking my nails, and this is a hard one. So. Okay, good. I've been talking like this for 64 years, so
I know it's going to be hard.
Yeah,
but just try. Okay.
Okay.
Even if you got through it for like a day, or two, and then you went to your practicing.
Yeah. Now, is there somebody, a famous voice, like an actor or somebody whose voice would exemplify this that I could think about? I got to talk like this guy.
I don't know.
Okay. Maybe Eric knows.
Go find it.
Yeah. All right.
I don't want you to talk like somebody else. I want you to talk like you.
Okay.
With your president's forward. Okay. I don't like that idea.
Okay. Scratch that.
Be you speaking in an edging position. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Guys, we are way over time on this.
All right. Thank you very much for the extra time.
Yeah. You're welcome, guys. Good job. Okay.
All
right. Eric, your Mr. Foundation package, be thinking about all the stuff. It's all in the book, by the way. It's all in the book, and that's why you don't have the full course. But I'm sure it's on that. It's on that other thing. So, yeah. Okay. You know what to do.
Absolutely.
I'll see you guys in about a month, right?
Yeah.
After the eclipse.
Right.
That sounds cool. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.